As stated on Mail Online on September 30, 2011, that was the moment I stepped out of my grave and into my life. I don't regret losing my arm. It showed me what was important in my life, what I'm capable of. According to National Geographic News on August 30, 2004, Aron Ralston realizes the mistakes he made, but is now happy for how everything turned out. According to New York Times, on Saturday, April 26, 2003, in Utah was the day that Aron Ralston's life changed in a very dramatic way. The hiking trip that wasn't supposed to be anything challenging turned into the most challenging event of Aron's life. November 7, 2010, the Los Angeles Times states that Aron went on a hiking trip to Blue John Canyon. Aron realizes he didn't make the smartest choices when he went on the hiking trip in Blue John Canyon. He went on his own and didn't leave an itinerary for anyone because he didn't realize how many risks he was going to face. He thought it was going to be just an easy 8-hour hiking trip. Aron and his two friends started on the hike together, but then his friends went one way and he went another, and he didn't tell them which route he was going to take. Aron was standing on the boulder and he knew he had to get down from where he was. So he laid down, inched his way around the boulder, and then was dangling from the boulder when the boulder gave way. The boulder pinned Aron's right hand and wrist against the rock or against the canyon wall. He tried chipping away at the 800-pound boulder with a pocket knife he had in his pocket. In other words, Aron realizes that he wasn't going to be able to chip himself free. On August 30, 2004, on the National Geographic News, Aron tried to survive hypothermia, dehydration, and save his own life for 5 days. With a bottle of water that was almost empty and the temperature dropping below 30 degrees every night, Aron thought he had found his resting place. He had 2 video cameras with him, and every day he took a video of himself because he thought that was where he was going to die. He stated where his mom and dad lived, who they were, who he was, what had happened, how he was feeling, so he knew that whoever came across these video tapes would be able to give them to his family to give his family closure. Then Aron decided that he was still going to die, he just wasn't going to die by that rock. Aron decided that he was going to break his arm and then cut his hand off so he could get free. Aron had to first break the 2 bones because he knew that his knives weren't sharp enough to cut through the bone. They could barely cut through his skin. Once he broke the bones, he started to cut into the arm, which took over an hour to get all the way through. The most painful part was cutting through the nerve. He said that it felt like fire shooting through his arm. The first time he plucked it and he had the fire feeling shooting through his arm, so he knew that's what he was going to have to do. So he did it another time to get it to break. Aron says the pain was the worst he had ever experienced, but at the same time, it didn't hurt because he knew that if he wanted to live, he had to get out from behind that boulder, and cutting his arm off was the only way. Not only was the pain horrible, he never said ouch or made a noise because he knew that if he wanted to live, he had to do it. On November 7, 2010, in the Los Angeles Times, states that once Aron lowered himself to the ground of the canyon, he had to hike until a rescue helicopter spotted him. After his surgery, Aron was already talking about going back hiking as soon as he could. Aron won't wear his prosthetic arm unless he is hiking or giving a speech to younger kids. April 26th was a traumatic day for Aron, but after the initial hike, the boulder falling on him, and then finally being rescued, he said he is glad it happened to him because he found out what he was going to do with his life. A traumatic event can be very devastating, but with courage and positive thinking, any event can be made into a great life-changing moment. This is a picture of Aron Ralston on November 2nd, 2010 that was posted on the IMDb website, and it's a picture for his showing of the movie that was made about him called 127 Hours.